Strong details about Ahsoka's Great Mothers and their bond with Grand Admiral Thrawn can be found in Star Wars lore. The Great Mothers, who resided on the planet Peridea, an extragalactic realm, assisted Thrawn in establishing communication with the Star Wars galaxy after he was banished for slightly more than 10 years. The Great Mothers passed, and the reason the threads of fate required them to serve Thrawn, however, remained shrouded in mystery. Even while the Great Mothers are fascinating and will surely carry on the Night Sisters tradition in the upcoming films of the franchise, the three of them are really strange. It was verified that the Force Witches eventually moved to the known galaxy and lived on the planet of Dathomir in the distant past of the Star Wars timeline, despite the fact that Peridea was still proven to be the original homeworld of the Night Sisters. But the Great Mothers remained beyond hints, suggesting an epic tragedy in terms of when, how, and why it was disclosed. In light of this, the existing Star Wars canon probably provides an explanation. The Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels, and the live-action Ahsoka have demonstrated that the Night Sisters have a vastly different connection to the Force than do the Jedi or Sith. The Night Sisters' relationship with death is one example of how completely different their talents are in the Force. For instance, numerous Night Sisters were raised from the dead as the undead in order to defend their surviving sisters as a result of Count Dooku's thirst for vengeance against the Force Witches. Moreover, Great Mothers such as Talzin had mastered death, especially Talzin, who had given up her corporeal form at General Grievous' killing of Dathomir, continued to play a part, it befell. Mother Talzin appeared more than once, as shown in the Clone Wars and the post-war Son of Dathomir comics. She was able to impact and influence the galaxy, while being merely an incorporeal spirit. Thus, it makes sense that Ahsoka's Great Mothers might have been the same, or, at the very least, deceased prior to Thrawn's banishment from what was left of their former homeworld. Assuming that the three formidable Force Witches are extraordinarily old, Ahsoka's Great Mothers may possess the same control over death that Mother Talzin did. It's still unclear exactly what occurred on Peridea, although it's likely that the Great Mothers were alive at the time Peridea was isolated from the rest of the cosmos. Ahsoka attests that this gloomy incident altered the Purgil's migratory patterns, transforming the planet into a cemetery where the star whales would only visit in order to pass away. As the globe became a wasteland, the Dathomiri monarchy that had flourished on Peridea's surface also collapsed. If there were many Night Sisters in the known galaxy, then this would explain why the Great Mothers are on Peridea. When whatever happened to the planet happened, they were essentially shut off and left trapped on Peridea. It also clarified why, after all these years, they were so keen to serve Thrawn, since he represented their chance to leave the planet. But it's also possible that the Great Mothers were dead for the most of that time, only coming back to life when Thrawn and Ezra Bridger unintentionally came after the Battle of Lothal, as demonstrated in the Star Wars Rebels season finale.